this was a debate. It was like a video debate between him and another guy defending religious circumcision, or maybe was himself Jewish and was defending Jewish circumcision, but it was about religious circumcision. And it was, first of all, Brian Earp is, of course, brilliant as usual. But, well, actually, before all that, there are these interesting online debate sites where you can, I don't remember the names. One of them might have been called Quora, or Forum. I don't remember, but there's these sites where you can go just to debate people on any topic, and you'll put the topic out there and fish for somebody to bite, and somebody will bite, and then you can arrange a video debate. And it looked like that's what this was, or maybe it was just arranged through Skype or something. Anyway, Brian Earp states his case, but the guy's defense of religious male circumcision versus female circumcision is essentially male infant circumcision is directly ordered to the Jews. I don't know that that's true. Abraham was circumcised at 99, and I think Ishmael was circumcised at 13. That's an interesting thought as well. Regardless, okay, that's his claim. That male circumcision is ordered explicitly in the Jewish text anyway, and his claim is that female circumcision is not truly ordered by Islam, or I guess any of the animist religions in Africa. And this is a non-argument, and I will tell you why. In Western law, if a person states that something is a sincerely held religious belief, or a sincerely held personal religious belief, or a sincerely held personal belief, you immediately have, at least on the face, you have all of the protection. They cannot go in and start, and they will not, the courts will not lower themselves to rehashing millennia-old theological debates. They're not going to do that in the court. So they're not going to debate the claim of whether or not somebody's religion genuinely requires female circumcision. If they personally believe it to be, they're going to take their word for it. That's not a good example, because that's, female circumcision is actually illegal. But it's when cases like, if a Jehovah's Witness wants to withhold a blood transfusion from an ill and dying child of theirs, and somehow it gets into court, either a relative tries to step in and sue, or maybe an outside representative trying to represent the child steps in, or a social worker, that can sometimes happen, and they step in, and the parents get up and say, well, it's my sincerely held religious belief that I cannot give him a blood transfusion. They're not going to get into a theological debate over what the Bible says, or the fact that the Bible doesn't talk about this, or the writings of the guy who invented Jehovah's Witnesses and his writings. They're not going to turn it into a theological debate. They will accept on its face that is your religious belief, and the claim will move on to other fundamental concerns, such as the fact that a parent has to provide basic care to the child, or whether there must be a religious exception to it. They're not going to challenge it based on the theology. So this is just, it's a non-argument. It doesn't mean anything in Western law. By the way, I do find it pretty breathtaking that parents can deny life-saving medical treatment to children I've actually read medical ethics texts on this. Um, it's very interesting. They'll, if they're 16 or 17, they may take the child's word for it, but it becomes a very murky area. that quite frankly needs to be dealt with as well. But anyway, yes, the central point, it doesn't matter if it's in the theology. If a person says it's a sincerely held personal religious belief, they will take that claim as being legitimate, and it'll move on to some other aspect of the harm or of the claim, or of parental rights, religious exception, blah, 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 religious freedom. And at the end of the day, let's be honest here, we already have the ethical framework in place that denies nominally religiously motivated genital mutilation, well, religiously motivated or otherwise, genital mutilation, to underage girls. The ethical framework already exists. So, that was just a little point. Brian Earp didn't really bring that up in the video, and I wanted to point this whole thing out. I think there was an expanded video that he mentions in his description, but he didn't post a link to it, and I can't access it. It might have been I think it was a direct link video. Anyway, tell me what you think in the comments. Yeah, tell me what you think. Take care. Bye-bye.